Welcome to the latest edition of Inside Carolina. I'm your host, Hannah Horn, a proud alumna of the university. Well, start spreading the news. That's because the University of South Carolina's Mighty Sound of the Southeast Marching Band has been selected to perform in the 2024 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, but it's going to take all of our help to get them there. But first, an Inside Carolina exclusive sit-down interview with Gamecock alum and well-respected South Carolina attorney Joe Rice. Because of his generosity, the law school now bears his name. He tells us why it's so important to support the university, the law school, and this future generation of Gamecocks. Join us as we go inside Carolina. If you don't know the name Joe Rice from South Carolina's legal community, well, you will soon. We're here at a special ceremony at the university as it unveils the Joseph F. Rice School of Law, a distinction honoring Mr. Rice's contribution to the law school, his stellar legal career, and pride of being an alumnus. But what's in a name? We sat down with Mr. Rice to learn more about his life, career, and passion for future Gamecocks who will learn, grow, and connect in this building.
As a dad, he's always had high expectations. Dad and I have always been very close, but he's always been very supportive too. So, you know, it's a hard footstep to follow. I've been very lucky. We have been very lucky. Dad has worked incredibly hard.
When a young law student looks at your name above the building, this Joseph Rice guy, who is he? What does he stand for? What do you hope they know about you?
I hope they will learn a little bit about my background, that I came from a very working class family. I struggled to get into and through college. I came into school the back door, but you take advantage of the opportunities you have and you make the best of them, and you can go a long way in this world. I never imagined when I got out of law school what my career would have been. It's just, I look back on it and I say, you know, how did this happen? I was from Gastonia, North Carolina, and when I decided to go to college, I narrowed it down to a few schools. I didn't care to go to Chapel Hill, although that's the state college in North Carolina. And I had a few friends at South Carolina, so I got interested in that.
And then your experience in the law school, how different were the classes and how things were done at the law school then versus what you see now?
Oh, it's night and day. So, as I mentioned, when I went to Columbia, I had a good time at the fraternity rush party, and I got very involved in the Greek community, and that's really where I met Dean Hubbard. William and I both worked on the Interfraternity Council, and we were both in fraternities, and that's when our friendship started.
But he wasn't Dean Hubbard then.
He was
just
then.
William.
He was William.
William, okay.
Right. And when William became dean, I had done some stuff previously with the law school. But I knew that he was going to put his heart and soul into it, and that he had the ability to lead us to a better place or a better national standing. When William approached me, and his focus was on giving kids that may not be able to go to law school the opportunity to go, and the opportunity to go to South Carolina by having some financial help, then that was the right thing, because that gave people a chance and an opportunity like I got. So that's what got my interest.
Your family has such just a beautiful history of being a donor and investor to the university, starting with not only your education there, your wife educated there, your daughter, hopefully your grandson Beckett will also go there one day.
I hope so, but he still talks about going to a rodeo school. We'll see.
Okay, he's at that age. But you have such a beautiful legacy of being a donor and investor to the university with the athletics fields and other opportunities. Why did this particular opportunity to invest in the law school and its naming something that you wanted to do?
Well, it goes back to my experience in college, and the professors cared about the students. The students, you know, you became a family. And the university, one of the things about South Carolina, if you graduate from University of South Carolina, you're going to know a lot of people in South Carolina if you stay here. and you're going to stay in touch with them. I had the opportunity and doors opened to work with some of the greatest litigators that South Carolina and the country's had. Ron Motley was, in my mind, one of the greatest litigators. And having an opportunity to work with Ron just fell into my lap. And Ron just called me out of the blue the week before the bar exam and wanted to come to Columbia and take me out to dinner. And I said, Mr. Motley, I got to get ready for the bar exam. He said, you need a break. So in Ron's own way, he taught me into going to dinner with him. That's the first time I ever met him.
It's interesting that you point out who your mentors were, who you were learning for at the time, because we've talked to so many of your colleagues about how you have been that mentor to them. And now this investment back into the law school, do you believe that that speaks to how your heart really truly is in a future generation of lawyers?
I would hope so. I think that this, financial assistance, which is principally going to be used for scholarship money, is going to give kids the opportunity to learn more about our judicial system and our legal system and its centerpiece in our democracy, and give them the opportunity to come in and decide how they want their future and our country to function within our system of justice, and be willing to get into it and make sure that we protect the fundamental rights that our Constitution gives us.
Well, the judge could rule this speculation, but if you had been anything other than an attorney, what do you think it would have been?
Oh, I don't know.
A professional golfer?
Yeah, there's a couple of different things I could answer with that, but I'll just say that I'm glad I didn't have to make that choice.
It was meant to be.
To the students and professors who benefit from these scholarships, our hope is that you will look at the law school name on this building or the logo, and you won't see my name, but you will hear me and my family saying, we believe in you. Go forward, do something good, do it well, and better all lives. Thank y'all for this opportunity.
There was another celebration recently on campus, this as the mighty sound of the Southeast Marching Band learned it's one of 10 in the nation invited to the 2024 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. So excited. And now the band has 1 year to rehearse and raise the money needed to get all 375 of its band members to the Big Apple. The director of the band, Jay Jacobs, sat down with us here on its practice facility to tell us how we can help and some of the preparations underway for that special performance. What an incredible invitation, and here to tell us more about it is Jay Jacobs, who is the director of the Carolina Marching Band. Jay, what in the world are you guys doing to prepare for such an incredible global presence?
Well, it's interesting that all the logistics and thoughts that go into everything we have to look into to get there and make it all happen. So at this point, we're looking into travel logistics, accommodations, meals, some practice time when we get to New York, everything that's going to need to happen and what's going to take to get us there in terms of performance for a little over a year from now. And we're just on the cusp of starting to talk about what we're going to do next fall. This is not a secret we're keeping, like we had to keep the announcement itself. We'll have a piece of music we perform for most of the parade route, and then something different we'll perform at Herald Square for that performance that gets on TV for everybody to see. So I'm excited to talk about the possibilities. We've talked about, we want to represent South Carolina, so we want to have some elements of USC and some of our traditional music that people are so familiar with. I can't really wait to dive into it and talk about the pros and cons of everything. Probably not any cons, but what's going to make the biggest impact on behalf of USC.
So you're marching through the streets of New York, and then you stop in that iconic moment. Seriously, I tear up. I love this parade so much. I love this moment. I'm home making pies, I'm so excited for the family to arrive. But you stop there in Herald Square, right in front of Macy's. What do you think that's going to feel like for you and your students?
Oh, it's just going to be a complete rush. It's so much adrenaline at that point. It'll be incredibly exciting. It'll be incredibly fast-paced. they'll get the experience, maybe even to take it in more on the rehearsal, which happens probably around 2 or 3 in the morning that day. The whole thing will be just a complete rush. It'll go by so fast, but memories for a lifetime, for sure.
Exhausting and exciting.
Oh, yeah.
How can we help you get there?
Oh my gosh. So with this comes an incredible expense to move that many people to New York City for several days and nights. And so if folks want to check out, we have a crowdfunding resource for folks who would be able to donate. Any kind of generous contribution to what we can do would be fantastic. Right now, and in the next several months are the really important time for us to raise the funds we can go and know that we can get there and provide the experience we want to provide for the fantastic students who are going to represent USC in the state of South Carolina.
All right, fellow Gamecocks, there is our call to action. Let's help our fellow Gamecocks, these young people, get to New York and watch them next Thanksgiving. Jay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for getting the word out for us, and thank you to everyone who's going to support us in whatever way they can.
Meredith, you are one of the students who knew about the invitation to this before any of the other marching band students. How did you keep it a secret?
It was so hard, honestly. It was a huge relief when the announcement fully came out at our first home game, because I was able to say, yeah, we're actually going to Macy's, and just finding out as well and being told you can't tell anyone, it was like, wow, this is really happening. This is truly something that's gonna blow everyone's mind.
Now, you are a drum major, and that is a very important position to have, not only in a marching band, but also in a parade. Will you kind of show me, so like when you guys will be walking, you'll be just like lifting your feet, or are you watching someone ahead of you? How does that work?
So we will be watching the people in front of us.
Okay, so direct me. All right, okay, so what would I do? Okay.
So when we're going to be marching forward at a regular pace,
Okay.
And we will be moving forward with the actual pace of the parade. So there will probably be attendants in front of us, and it'll be just really, really cool to see everything happen. There will be choreography from our color guard and coquettes. There'll be choreography from the drum majors as well, and there will be music coming back from us from all 375 members of the band. So it'll be really cool to see.
Meredith, best of luck to you and your team raising the money, preparing for this incredible show. And how about you show me how you're going to march that day? Teach me, school me, and how we're going to do this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we're going to stand straight up.
Okay.
Proud. And we're going to walk down.
Okay. Well, if you'd like to join me in donating, they do have a website set up where you can contribute to the nearly $500,000 they need to get to New York. I already cannot wait until next Thanksgiving to watch my fellow Gamecocks while I bake my turkey and pies. Well, that is almost the time that we have for now, but first, we leave you with a new series here at the university called Remarkable Moments. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with friends, family, and fellow alumni. Thanks for joining us inside Carolina.
There are certainly some challenges that we have here on the coastline. How can we eliminate single-use plastic as much as possible? What are we doing for beach sweeps? Being able to integrate taking care of the resort on the pristine Atlantic coastline is such a responsibility. I've been able to leverage key partners in the community, for instance, Sea Turtle Patrol of Hilton Head. They are the ones that are out on the coastline in the wee hours of the morning checking to see if a nest has been laid. USC really helped guide my career path. It was that working knowledge that I had about the natural world and then the master's in hospitality that I could use to ensure that my resorts were good stewards of the environment. Being able to learn about whatever our passion is at USC is a gift. But then to be able to use that education to do good in the communities in which we live, whether the upstate of South Carolina down to here in the Lowcountry, that's remarkable.